I can. Because I can. Hey there. Hey there, hey there, hey there. How are you? Ooh. I need to plug in my microphone. Hi, Karen. Karen. Hi, Mark. Hello, Miss Melody. Miss Melody, Miss Melody, Miss Melody. We gotta start figuring out our show. Our live. Hi, Bill. Vinny. What up? Can't wave to you guys because I'm plugging in my... I forgot to plug in my mic. Hold on. Now, is it... Can you tell the difference? What am I listening to? Alex de Grassi, The Water Garden. It's a really pretty tune. Sorry for talking over it. Hi, Virginia. Kalamazoo. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for your donation to 1111 with Jenna. I really appreciate so much. I had a beautiful day. I had a great early, my early was quick, and then Lillian and I went for a really great walk, and we met a librarian, and we talked about how libraries are opening and what they're doing, and that was interesting. And then we had a couple of Zoom classes that we taught, because Lil sits there with me. Hi, Russ. And then I went to a girls' night with about 10 women, and everyone's on this big deck, and I could have brought my noodle. I was thinking about you today. Hi, Jennifer. I love you. I miss you so much. Oh, hi. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer's my old neighbor, my old neighborhood girl. And I just broke a nail. Oh, well. No, I didn't do that. Lou Lanza. Hello, sir. So, Corona Roki Thursday night. Speaking of Jennifer, I do recall you are a vocalist, and this Thursday night, Corona Roki, Corona Roki International Limited is happening. Lou, if you're around, Thursday, come on. I have a fun guest tonight. Let me wave it up at all you people. Jennifer, Russ. I'm glad you're here, Jennifer. Julie Luce. Hello, Colorado lady. So we have Massachusetts, Michigan, California, Colorado. Ooh. Yeah, NorCal. Representing. Now, when I wave, do you see that I wave? Like, do you get a thing that goes, Jenna and Mamina's waving at you? I don't even know. Alex de Grassi. I just waved at Alex de Grassi. Oh, good, you're going to stop by. Oh, I love my cousin Armando. He'll be here Friday. Oh, Pennsylvania, too. So, coast to coast. Oh, is that how you found out about me? I don't know this story, Mark. Alex, I want to sing this song with you. I kind of, You know how I listen to it, and I listen to it, and I listen to it, and then I'm like, I don't mean to talk over it. It's so pretty. Hi, RP. Well, the person that's music you are listening to. It's slow. I'm going to get him on here in a minute. As soon as I have to plug in my lighting. Hold on. Hold that thought. I'm back. Okay. Slow but singable. Da, da. Wait, hold on. I have to do hair and makeup. Okay, I'm back. It's really pretty. I don't know if that really did much with the hair and makeup, but listen to this one more time. This part. Jenna's World. Is this your first time here, Alex? Enough of this. Not enough of that. Enough of this when I can have you here talking instead of... It's not Jenna's World. It's called 11:11 with Jenna. But since you titled it Jenna's World, I'll go with it. The flowers are from my friend Mary. Yeah, they're really pretty. Peonies. Hey there.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm good.
You
I'm
look
great.
great.
Thank you. So do you, always. Are you in Mendocino? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's the delay. I
Oh,
should turn off my radio.
turn
No,
off
I mean, take
turn
my
off the
headphones
radio. Right. Turn down the radio, please. Cause you're in Jenna's world now. I like that, Alex de Grassi. You're the first person to see that.
Okay. Well, Wayne's World.
Wayne's World, Jenna's World, Jenna's World. Yeah, it's been a long time, man. How are you?
Yeah, it has. I'm good. It has been a long time. I'm trying to figure out how to set my phone up here.
Well, sometimes people use washcloths, or I use a candle sometimes.
I actually have one of these snazzy new things that's supposed to stand up. But
Oh, so I need to turn you, because you're landscape, so hold on. I'm landscaping you. Okay.
Am I sideways?
Yeah.
Did I go sideways on you?
You did. You went sideways on me.
Okay, how's that?
Well, it's okay. I like it. I'd rather you weren't sideways, but if you want to be sideways,
Okay.
that's cool.
No, I'll go vertical.
Well, now I want to go vertical. Wait, now you're upside down.
Upside down world.
Upside down. Boy, you turn me. Okay, we need to get this lighting together.
Okay.
Sometimes you weren't an option when it came to bringing you on screen.
Hold on a second. I gotta find something here. Maybe a glass of water will work.
Glass of water usually works really well.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I haven't quite done this one yet.
But the lighting's kind of funky.
On my end? Here,
Hold
let
on.
me turn some lights down.
Alex
Is that
de Grassi.
better?
Hold on.
How's that?
That light above you is kind of bright.
I think it's, hold on.
Hold on to your love. You've got to hold on. Hold on.
better, isn't it? I need to get the phone up. Okay, I'm going to hold it for a second until I figure out what the lighting should be. If I can, I need a phone holder.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Right there. Oh, that's kind of nice. That kind of works.
Okay.
This is what I started out. Right there, right there, right there. Don't move.
No, I have to move.
You guys, this is Alex de Grassi. The music we were just listening to. You think it's too slow to sing?
No, I don't think it's too slow. It's one of the slowest pieces I ever wrote. So.
When did you write that?
I wrote that in 97, I think. We had just moved from San Francisco, my wife and I.
Allison.
Yep. Allison. That's right. And they wrote a song about her.
That was for Alec. That was for Allison.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm going to work on the light a little bit more.
Okay. I haven't seen this studio.
So, yeah, you've been here before.
No, I thought... Uh-oh, there goes my... Hold on. Nope, see, you're still really bright.
I don't look that bright. I don't feel that bright.
See how bright you are and you don't even know it. I'll do a little messing around. Mess around. I'm full of them tonight, you guys. You would think I drank something.
Okay, well...
Smoothie. You're good. So are you in Potter Valley? Where are you?
I'm in Redwood Valley.
You're in Redwood Valley, I mean. Okay, so you're not out on the coast.
No, I'm in my little studio here in Redwood Valley. You've been here before.
I've been there. We rehearsed there.
You and your lovely dog.
Lily and Pearl. She's sleeping. She might jump out. Oh, she just heard you.
So, there I am.
Hold on, I'm going to do something. I'm gonna take him off. I'm going to do old school. I'm going old school with him. Lillian, Alex de Grassi's here. And you have a dog now.
Have you been sheltering in place in Michigan all this
I
time?
have been, yes, sir. I'm in sheltering in place in Michigan, and the weather's nice. There he is.
Here, I'm going to see if I can. I know what to do. If I can do this, maybe. Oh, that's better. I think. Okay. That's so weird. The image on my phone doesn't match the one on yours, but there you go. And maybe if I go back even
No, go
further.
up. Come closer.
Come closer. Okay.
It's different every time. So you wrote that for Allison. How long have you been?
I wrote it right here, right where I'm sitting.
Oh,
And no, I wrote that when we first moved up here and in Northern California, and it was just raining all the time. And I was looking out the window, and it was, for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I wrote that whole album, The Water Garden, and it never stopped raining the whole time.
What year was that?
That was 97.
Okay.
Yeah, because the recording came out in 98. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those rains. But I I lived in Willits I lived there for 10 years, but I remember there was one winter where it just rained and rained and rained and rained, and for like 40 days and 40 nights, rain. And then one day it was really quiet. It was when Lillian was a puppy. And I thought, oh, the rain stopped. And I opened up the window and it had snowed.
Yeah, well, it'll do that here sometimes. I heard it snowed up in the hills around here about a week ago.
Huh?
Yeah, I had some friends who went up on a bike, actually a motorcycle ride, overnight, and they got stuck in snow at about, 2,500 feet, something like that, 3,000
Really?
feet. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Come here, Lil. I want you to see some. Oh, she's eating. Sorry. She eats about once every 2 days, so we don't disturb her when she eats.
Sorry for all the moving around. I'm just trying to improve on the light.
It's okay. Sometimes it just happens that way. Now it's like that.
I think that's better.
Okay.
So, what have you been up to?
I do this every day, 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m. 7
And
days, 14 times a week.
Wow. That's impressive.
So I do this, and I've been doing some. I have a friend here. His name is Tom Costanzo, and he's a guitar player that I met last summer in my hometown. And Rolf and I, and my other stuff, I lost all my work, all my gigs. So my cousin has a bar here, and so we've done some virtual concerts in his bar, and then we've done some outdoor concerts at Tom's. And I hang out with my mom and my dog, and I walk on the beach.
Well, I've done a couple virtual concerts. We did one at the Redwood Valley Grange on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
With Wendy DeWitt, the Queen of Boogie Woogie, and her husband Kirk Harwood, who's a great drummer, and Spencer Brewer. And I did one, actually, the day my album came out on April 20th, we did one live from space. And that's Space Theater, which stands for School for Performing Arts and Cultural Education.
In Ukiah, California.
Yeah, a real wonderful program for kids from 2 to 18. Dance theater, really a great thing. It's all bilingual, and that was cool. We raised some money for them, and I think it kind of opened the door here locally for folks to say, hey, we can do streaming events.
Yes. So have you been streaming? Are you teaching from your home?
I've done a couple things. I taught a class at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. They have a fingerstyle guitar program there. And I've done a couple other things, something for a program out of Arizona called Lead Guitar. A fellow named Brad Richter, really fine guitar player and great guy, started this program, outreach to kids. And my sometimes duo partner, Andrew York, and I were down in Arizona at the university last year about this time, doing a concert and doing outreach with the Lead Guitar program. So, I got to be on a show with two Sergios. Sergio Assad of the famous Assad duo and older brother of Baji Assad, and amazing musical family. And Sergio, and now I'm going to blow his last name, Mexican guitarist, big rock star. So, that's my 68-year-old brain just going blank for a moment there. But, so that was fun. I've done a few things. And I've taught a little bit. I'm getting ready to teach more.
Setting up at home, as far as... I'm curious, did you do this other stuff? Were you on Zoom?
Yeah, they were on Zoom. Yeah, these other things were on Zoom, and I've done a bunch of, like everybody else, fun things with Zoom. A few Zoom cocktail parties, ways to get in touch with, stay in touch with friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm trying out something with, Jeremy Cohen, violinist.
Yes.
With the San Francisco, Quartet San Francisco. He's got a program called String Masters that he's partnered in, and he's been trying to get me involved in that. So I've been doing some test teaching on that, and I'm probably going to start teaching regularly on that next in a week or so. So, yeah.
Can you see Lillian?
Pardon me?
Can you see Lillian Pearl?
Oh, there's Lillian. Just as cute as ever. How old is she now?
She's 9.
9?
You met her when she was a puppy.
I did. She was a ball of energy.
Yeah, she still is.
That dog can leap and run fast.
My dad would say she has 2 speeds, fast and off.
I like that. Yeah.
She's still there. I have a question from my friend Miles. He would like to know if you will be doing the summer workshop with Andrew sometime in the future.
Well, mine got canceled. We do one every year in July, mid-July called the Mendocino Guitar Workshop. And it would have been the 21st year this year, but we had to cancel it. We started it way back when in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and we grew it eventually. Andrew and I were doing them together the last few years, and then we were going to have this great guitar player from Denver, Sean McGowan.
Oh, I know Sean.
Yeah, great fingerstyle jazz player, teacher at the Colorado University and University of Colorado in Denver. Yeah. So, but that got canceled, like everything else, and so I don't know when we're going to do anything. I pretty much, my gigs and workshops are just kind of on hold right now, and I'm kind of looking at the possibility of doing some online, but teaching with small groups online, I think works. I haven't really seen a good model yet for teaching online with bigger groups.
Yeah, I do privates, and some yoga, but I'm doing private vocal lessons, but it would seem like it would be harder.
Right. And one of the features of our workshop the last few years has been I would write or arrange a piece for all the guitars. So we have 16 guitar players, 18 guitar players playing together,
wow.
4 parts usually, and, trying to do that over online is, I don't know. I've heard there's some things like Jam Kazam out there. Is that what it's called, Jam Kazam?
Kazam. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that I wanted to try that out, but I've heard it kind of works. But have you tried it?
I've tried it. I think most people are doing video where they'll record it and then put it together, paste it together.
Right.
But,
well, that makes sense. So, but I did something kind of interesting. I wrote an in-depth article for one of the local freebie rags here in Mendocino County. They were going to do a story on my workshop, and then, of course, the workshop being canceled, we thought, I talked with a publisher, and we decided that's going to be kind of, maybe a little strange, to write about a workshop that's not happening. So I ended up writing the article, and I wrote it. It's called Into the Cloud, and it's sort of a survey, at least, as of a few weeks ago, of what the impact on the performing arts locally, somewhat outside of the local area as well, and talking about what people are doing with, to adapt. So that was kind of fun. So I got to exercise my writing chops.
What were some of your other ideas?
Well, they weren't my ideas, really. I interviewed a whole bunch of people. So a woman who has a dance school, head of the theater department at Mendocino College, Rodney, who I think who teaches online recording arts, venues like the Mendocino Music Festival, small venues like the Smithwood Cafe and the Casper Pub. And, I also checked in with things like SF Jazz and see what they were doing. They were, doing a lot of online, rebroadcasts of concerts. The Sequoia Room up here, a little jazz club in Fort Bragg.
I love playing the Sequoia Room.
A lot of stuff. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they video all that stuff. They were broadcasting when you performed there live.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. They were kind of slowing down anyway, right?
They were a little bit. I think the brewery was sold, and the new owners, I think there was just more caution. They have this beautiful jazz club. You've been there.
I've performed there a few times, yeah.
Yeah, I played there once or twice, and it's a really beautiful, state-of-the-art club for 75 people. I mean, you'd think you were in a major city. Like you could have been in New York or Chicago or Atlanta or somewhere, but it's a hard go for them to make it work. And always have big name acts. So they're still doing a lot of shows there. but they've cut back a little bit on the national touring acts.
And the stout is one of my favorite stouts.
Yeah. I actually like the Blue Star, which is the wheat beer.
Really?
Yeah. But I like them all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have the Thelonious sweatshirt because it's such a cool thing. I'm not so big on the beer, but they've raised have raised a lot of money for what is it? The Jazz Education Fund. And I'm not getting it quite right, but it's a Jazz Institute.
Yeah. Because Brad Simon and different people were involved with that back in the day. I remember.
Yeah.
So and I know Allison is quite a baker. What's the latest? What has she been making lately? Is she doing any strawberry rhubarb? Does she bake all this crazy stuff?
Yeah,
bread and
she was. I mean, when we went into shelter in place, she went into serious cooking and baking mode. So yeah, she's been making bread. She's made jams. She's made lots of pastries, savory and sweet. So galettes, lots of galettes galore. And
you guys eat it all?
Well, we.
I mean, look at you. You don't look like you've been a glutton for galettes or anything. So.
Well, I do like a galette, but I'm sort of naturally, I'm slowing down. I used to be able to eat like a horse and not gain anything, but I'm slowing down a little bit, so.
But she's still powering in the baking department.
She is. I'm trying to think of what else she's made. She made a savory galette the other day. She's made some pies. She's made rolls. She's made some. She's not big on cakes, but she's done a lot of fruit tarts. She's just cooking up a storm. She's making granola, homemade granola.
You have that fabulous kitchen. I remember when you had it redone.
Yeah. It's nice. So anyway, we're fortunate to be living in the country here during all this. But it's a different world out there right now, and with the Black Lives Matter going on, which is, I mean, it's overdue. I wanted to mention that I saw, we watched, I guess we were a little behind the curve, but we watched 13 the other night, the documentary film. Amazing film. Just so really tells the story of what the problem is we're seeing now. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. They should be showing that film to every high school student, for the next.
It's part of the culture now. Yeah.
Yeah. It just really explains what happened in the U.S. I mean, we all know about slavery. We know about Jim Crow. We know, we know about way too many black men in prison, all those things. But somehow this story just put it all into perspective and made it all very understandable. And, without getting even overtly political, not that I would have a problem with that, but I mean, the point is, it's not just an opinion piece. It's like a textbook, It's like what the textbook should be saying. So,
what my mom wants to know what a galette is.
A galette, okay. So a galette is kind of an open-faced pie or a tart. So it's baked, but it's not covered on the top. It's I'm trying to see I'm trying to get my hands on the camera here, but here we go. So it's this part of the pie crust, but it comes back over just a little bit, so the center is all exposed, and they can be fruit. Allison makes apple and fig. She recently made a strawberry rhubarb because that's in season. And she's made all kinds of fruit ones. But she makes savory ones as well with onions and cheese, or tomatoes, or even potatoes, thinly sliced. And they're delicious.
Dirk Richardson and his wife Robin are Galette people as well.
Yeah, Galeteers.
Oh, it's a Galeteer. So gallant in a certain way. Well, I agree with you about 13. It's an important film to see.
Yeah, it is, and I'm not even sure when it came out, but I think, I really think if everybody watched that film and digested the story, we'd all have a much better understanding of what needs to be done. So much needs to be done. So it's been quite a few months between
everything, and it's still going. That's the thing. It's nothing like people. I'm in Michigan where shelter in place is done. Everyone's out at the bars and getting their hair done and getting tattoos or whatever. I'm like. I'm staying in the house. I'm walking. Lillian and I hang out with my mom, and totally social distancing because I'm one of those people that thinks that something else is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm being pretty cautious myself. We did have a social double this past weekend with a couple friends, and one of them happened to be the county health officer, so I figured she said it was okay that we could do that. It's still pretty scary. And both Alice and I went and got our hair cut for the first time in a long time. But
can you do that now in Redwood Valley? Is there somebody, or in Ukiah, is it open?
Yeah, they just opened that this past week. So that's just started. I think they're starting to open lodging too. Of course, the coastal part of this county is very much tourist, so it's been really hard on those businesses on the coast. But
and that's Allison's work still, correct? She's Allison's work.
No, she's not actually. That's a long story, but she went from being media and marketing director for Visit Mendocino, the tourism organization, to becoming to working, being a consultant for something called West Business Development.
Really?
And it was actually a very timely move for her because with the COVID happening, suddenly there was a huge need for people to understand what they could do, what they couldn't do, how to go about it, how to get loans, all that kind of stuff. So she's been working with a lot of the same people, the lodging people and the wineries and the restaurants and so forth, but coming from a slightly different angle. So that's actually kept her pretty busy. So.
Oh, I bet. And I watched. She early on. She posted a women in business, how to get funds for small businesses, and I listened to that. Now I remember that. They're playing at the Blue Wing.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't
outside.
know. Oh yeah. I guess I did hear that. Yeah, outside. Yeah, it's opening up. I mean, I haven't heard. I don't know what you're hearing. I haven't heard from any of the, postponed gigs that I had that they're eager to reschedule. I mean, they do want us to reschedule, but they're still hesitant to reschedule, fixed date at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're seeing, but
Yeah, I've talked with I remember, I bet it was March 20th, around that time, and I was talking to Patty Cathcart on the phone, and she said, "Girl, I don't think we're going to be playing up until 2021." And that was in early March, and I'm like, "Really? You think so? Really?" And I mean, most of my stuff, I have some gigs. I have a couple gigs in July and a couple of gigs in August that are still on the books that I'm just waiting to hear what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But
I'm working on the lighting again, in case you're wondering.
it changes.
Okay.
It evolves. Like I keep getting kind of this nice color, and then it gets brighter, and then because I have one of these. You need to get one of these little lights too, Alex. The ring light.
What do you got?
It's a little ring light.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm in my studio and I've been experimenting today with a lighting, and this isn't working very well, but I have to say it looks a lot better on my screen than it does on the phone feed. So. Okay.
So do you have any concerts coming up?
Well, no, I don't.
I mean, no, but I mean any virtual stuff that you're going to be doing?
Well,
hi, Keith
no.
Terry. Keith Terry's on. Hi, Keith. Body Music this weekend was slamming.
Oh, was it? Cool.
Oh, they did, noon to midnight, 9 to 9 to something like that. People from all over the world doing body music.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Post a link. But do you have any plans to do any concerts from your home, from your garden, maybe?
Geez. No, I hadn't really thought of that. You know, I've been really busy, believe it or not. I've been very busy kind of dealing I put a new recording out in April, end of April, and we've been very busy relearning the music business, because everything that I knew up until now is now wrong, basically.
Right? Yeah, it's a whole new world.
And so, learning, I had been kind of kicking and dragging myself into Pro Tool, into all the social media. And, fortunately, I hired a 22-year-old about 6 months ago, and he's kind of, he's getting me through all this stuff. So
are you on TikTok?
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
There's too many things. There's Instagram. There's.
Are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I'll find you.
Yeah.
That's what all the kids were doing, but now they do TikTok.
Yeah, well, us old people, we just have a hard time keeping up.
I'm not going there. I have enough. Like I get a message from Messenger, from there's like 6 places now that I'm getting messages from every day, and I'm like, I don't even. Yeah. Then Lillian and I go for a long walk.
Well, yeah. I out of necessity, I've been learning these things, and learning the back door to Pandora and YouTube and all those things, and I kind of left it all alone for many years, and we made a distribution deal with Bob Duskus through 6 Degrees Records in Grooves. And the good thing is they've been walking us through all this stuff. We had been distributed with a company called The Orchard, and before that was Iota, and it became The Orchard, and then Sony bought The Orchard, and now suddenly we're dealing with Sony, and Sony is a bit of a black box. It's kind of hard to know who's there and what you could be doing. So now we're actually working with people we can talk to every day, and walk us through the stuff and say, hey, this is what you need to do.
I like, Bob puts out a song or two during the week.
Yeah,
He does some good stuff. I like what he's... So, can you talk a little bit about Windham Hill?
Well, what do you want to know?
You and Lisa and Allison and I heard the story back when we were at the Blue Wing one night after we played. But it started, were you the second artist?
Well, I was, let's see, I was, essentially the second artist. Will Ackerman started the label in 1976 by way of putting out his own album, and he just did it for a bunch of friends who wanted him to make a record, and it's the old Tom Sawyer story. He made 300 copies and collected $5 from everybody, and traded studio time for doing some carpentry, and made a record, and pasted the labels on, and gave them to all the friends, and a neighborhood friend who had been working for Atlantic Records in A&R and promotion, said, hey, give me a couple of those records, I'm going to send them to radio stations. And lo and behold, they started playing them, and one in particular, a station in Seattle called Kazam, which was part of the end of the old FM freeform radio. They played a lot of it, and he started getting calls and saying, the station saying, people want to know where they can get the record. Anyway, that was the start of the record company. A couple of years later, I made a record for them, and
was that your first record?
That was my first record. I made in 1978, Turning Back, and that's how I got started. I was thinking of going to graduate school in England and in urban studies, and I ended up becoming a guitar player.
Wow, I didn't know that. My friend Miles says Turning Back was monumental. Then Slow Circle, awesome stuff. Miles saw you, or he picked you up in South Bend. He went to school at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And he was he worked at a radio station, and he picked you up at the airport, I think, for the concert.
That sounds vaguely familiar. I do remember playing.
And I think, did you say it was a snowstorm, Miles? I think you did say something about it being a crazy, snow. I'm 30 minutes away from Notre Dame as I sit right this
Oh, that close.
Yeah.
Well, I did play there. I remember that. And then, it might have been that crazy snowstorm. I wrote a piece called Midwestern Snow, which was on my second recording. Yeah, I think that was actually a different trip, though. But I remember I was driving from, where was it? I was driving from Milwaukee to Minneapolis or somewhere. Ooh. Or no, maybe up to La Crosse, Wisconsin or something. And it was just, I didn't think I was ever going to make it. But I got a song out of it.
Yeah. Apparently Bob Barker was in town when you were in South Bend.
Bob Barker? The Bob Barker?
Come on down. Dun, 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 dun. I have a friend that has a dog named Bob Barker.
Well, our local post office, which is tiny, the Redwood Valley Post Office, they like to have fun there. And when they were all renewing this was several years ago, they were all renewing their postal IDs so that they had, official IDs. They took a photograph of a dog that used to come in, put sunglasses on him and a hat, and took a photograph and submitted to the U.S. Postal Service him, Bobby Barker, and tried to get him a license. And they just got reprimanded, but
they did it. They tried.
But they did it. Yeah, I thought it was great.
So your new record, where did you record it?
Well, we recorded at Skywalker with Leslie Ann Jones.
Yay, Leslie. Good for
and,
Leslie. Yay. In the same room that you and I recorded?
The big one, yeah.
Yeah, wow, really.
Yeah. Yeah, there's room for like 200 musicians in there, but so there was plenty of room for me. we had some, sound gobos, around me to kind of slightly contain the sound. But, actually it was when you and I did that live broadcast with Cookie Marenko and Leslie Ann Jones and the Japanese guys from Sony who came over and set up, it was one of the very first DSD live broadcasts. And it was you and I playing together. And I just, I'd been to that studio once before, just when some friends were working there. But when we were there that time and I first picked up my guitar, I played a couple notes and I went, oh my God,
crazy.
I got to make a record here. This is a bucket list kind of thing. So I did. And it sounds great.
I have a band that I work with these guys, and the guitar player works out there. Steve Bissinger. He works for Leslie.
Yeah.
And so I've been out there. We did a recording for my band. Well, it's called Jenna and the Charmers. And I'm like, oh, I've been here before. Yeah, Alex DeGrassi and I, we did a recording here. My friend is saying Portland, Les Sarnoff, Kink, Earth Tavern.
Oh my God, that was ancient history. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Les Sarnoff, Kink Radio. That was another, one of the last of the old freeform FM radio formats. And Les Sarnoff was a big fan of Windham Hill Records, and we got a lot of play. Earth Tavern. I played there a bunch of times. That was, I've been to Portland many times since then, but I've never been able to quite figure out where the Earth Tavern was. So.
I remember Kink. I don't know the Earth Tavern. Where is the Earth Tavern, Mark? Oops. Holly Near CD. Yeah. Yeah, you might have played on a Holly Near record.
I think I've played on two.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I've played on a couple. And actually played a couple gigs with Holly over the years. So, yeah, she's great. She's still cooking along.
So you put this record out with your 22-year-old assistant.
Yeah.
And you had gigs to support it, set up for this.
I had some gigs, not as many as I would normally have, but I was sort of, it's interesting. This is a period in my life where I'm sort of, I hate to use the word semi-retired, but in some ways I am. I'm still keeping incredibly busy, but I'm much less concerned about going out the road. Than I used to be, and when this COVID thing hit, it just sort of was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of partly headed that way anyway. So, it's not. I love playing for people, and I love travel in the sense of meeting people and seeing different places, and there's a lot of stimulus involved in that. That's positive, but I've been doing it. I figured 42 years now, and I also like being home.
Well, you have a fabulous home to be with. Keith Terry said that he played on one of your records.
Keith
Terry.
Oh, Keith Terry. Yeah, Keith. Is he on board here?
He's on board. Sure is.
Hi, Keith. Because I have to look at my phone, I can't really follow the what's on the screen here, but next time we'll get it right, Jenna.
Well, this is how we do it, and this is part of the charm of 11:11 with Jenna. We just we make it work, and sometimes like when Melanie Demore's around, and my friend Gary Lambert, we do a 3-screen thing and three people on the screen. It's just every day. It's through Andy Norell, Keith Terry, through Andy. Wyndham Hill, Andy connection.
Yeah. Well, Andy produced one of my albums, and I went on a tour in Japan with Andy and a bunch of other musicians, Barbara Higbee, Mike Marshall, Daryl Anger, and Todd Phillips, and We had a great time. We did some recording. Andy was producing a project for a young Japanese potential pop star. I don't ever know what happened to him.
Really?
Yeah.
I stayed with Andy and his wife Anita in Paris. A couple of years, like I say, a couple of years. I think it'll be 3 years coming up. And I was just thinking of something else you said. What was it? I can't remember. Oh, hi, Gene.
Well, Japan.
But Keith Terry just said yes. That was it. That's the project.
Yeah. That's right. Keith played on that one. It was called "The World's Getting Loud." Yeah, it was all guitar and percussion, and yeah, we had Keith on there. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear he's listening in. Hope he's not. And I'm glad to hear he's still doing it.
He's doing it. Oh, he's doing it and doing it really well. And maybe if you could post, Keith, about the body music on this page. Keith Terry, The World is Getting Loud. Yes. I know what I was going to say. I was in Mexico in February for a festival. And and Michael Manring was there.
We're in Mexico City?
No, in San Pancho.
Oh, okay.
Where I know Will used to play at the same festival. I don't know, did you ever do it? San Pancho Music Festival?
No, I never did that one, but I did play with Michael and Chris Garcia with our Domania trio in Mexico City at the festival Centro Histórico, which was a really cool festival. I mean, it was a big deal. It was like 2 or 3 weeks of music, dance, and theater all over Mexico City in all these really cool theaters. And we got to play in the oldest theater in Mexico City. I believe it's called the Teatro de la Ciudad. And there's another big one, even bigger one there called Bellas Artes, the Bell Arts Theater. And man, they had like dance troops from, Europe and, people from all over the world. And it was pretty spectacular. So
that's what I was asking Keith if he could post the festival link. It was 12 hours this past Saturday of musicians, like up to 70 people. There were people from all over the world, and they were interviewing and figuring out the lighting and the zooming and everything. This is Wild West for me. I'm not a big technology person either, as you can see. I have a candle holder that I'm using. I have a tripod, but the old candle holder really comes in handy sometimes. It's every day. I do something else appears, and I learn, and it's fun.
Well, do you have a pink rubber band holding me?
I do.
Up? Okay.
One of those wrist, those rubber, those Lance Armstrong, but this is actually an SF Jazz rubber band from their 5th anniversary party.
Oh, okay. Well, then that makes it cool. So,
thank you, Keith.
If I'd had my phone ring on the laptop, I could be a lot more in control here, but it's a little chaotic.
You're in Jenna's world.
Keep the phone upright. Jenna's world.
You're in Jenna's world. But I do have a tripod here, and I have all kinds of stuff. I have all these dongles and all this cables and stuff that I'm like, what the hell? What did I do? Like, some people started baking bread. I started an online show, and it just it's evolving every day on some level. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So are you going to be teaching private lessons? Someone's asking me.
Yeah, well, I'm probably going to start in a week. I have a list of some people who want to take lessons, and I'm going to probably do it on this String Masters platform. So if somebody wants to, they should just email me at either alex@degrassi.com, which is the easiest one to remember, or office@degrassi.com, and let me know. And I'll send. I'm going to send something out here pretty soon, probably in the next week.
Do you feel like playing something now, or is that asking too much?
I could play something.
Oh, please do. Yay!
Hey, hold on. Let me see if I can just get a little better setup here, so that
I'm telling you, the washcloths and stacks of CDs and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, I'm going to grab a guitar. So, I have... Can you hear that? Jenna, can you hear that?
Yeah, my microphone's picking it up quite well, I believe. You guys, you can hear that well.
Okay, so I'm going to play, not to be grim, but this is kind of a little bit of a dark song. It's a ballad I wrote, and I thought it'd be nice because I'm playing, I'm trying to get more in the picture here, but this is a challenge because I can't point my camera very well. So, is there any chance that rubber band could get moved?
I'll hold you. I have Alex de Grassi in the palm of my hand.
Okay. Okay. So this is the baritone guitar, and this is a piece I wrote called Eulogy in a Low Voice. So this guitar is tuned down a fifth. It's nearly, getting down to an electric bass range. So I'm going to just adjust this phone a little bit more.
Hi, Allison. Allison's watching.
Oh, good. Sorry about all the bleach. It doesn't look bleached on my phone. That's the weird thing. So.
You look great.
Okay, now you can kind of see me.
Yes.
Okay, so this is called Eulogy in a Low Voice. a little dark.
Beautiful.
I wrote that. The guy who built that guitar, Lance McCollum, he passed away in 2009, very suddenly, unexpectedly. He was, at the peak of his career, making lots of amazing guitars, and he literally dropped dead at his from a what do you call it, a hematoma. He had a blood bubble, and he just dropped dead. Left, with wife and 3 young kids, and a legacy of all these amazing guitars. And he specialized in these baritone guitars, and it's just an amazing instrument. So,
is that the harp guitar that?
No, it's just 6-string guitar, but it's pitched really low. It's the neck's longer, everything's a little bit bigger, and it has a very low voice.
Low voice. That was beautiful, Alex. Thank you. When did you write that? This year?
Well, so I didn't really finish, but when he passed away in 2009, I had the guitar for a couple of years, but I hadn't used it very much, and I just I picked it up, and the song kind of wrote itself. I thought, gee, he passed away, and I picked up the guitar to play, and I just wrote that song in, almost in real time, which is unusual for me. So.
Thank you for sharing.
And of course, it's a blues, so there's a little free thing. It's a little bit improvised, but yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Allison. I know you guys have. Are you watching any series on Netflix or Amazon or anything right now? Do you guys commit to that kind of stuff?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say we're committed. Yeah, we did.
Just dabble.
We did watch a couple episodes of Schitt's Creek, but
just a couple.
Yeah, well, we watched a few, and it's pretty funny.
I love Schitt's Creek.
Then we watched 13. The next night after watching that a couple nights, and we realized how frivolous Schitt's Creek is.
Creek. Oh, it's the kind of thing that you can just turn on and clean your house or do, because who the characters are. And then
I felt guilty watching it, with all this heavy shit going on.
Sure.
Stuff.
Yeah, we need to learn. My friend Bill would like to know, and he asked, any encounters with George Winston?
Oddly enough, George and I never got spent much time together, and oddly enough, we've kind of come in contact more recently in emails. We've been trading some emails, so he's sharing some stories and guitars and different things. I think George is very much of a I'm a little bit more of a kind of go about my I don't know what I am. I'm a little bit more of a kind of doing my own, a little bit more retreated in my own world, I guess, in some ways. George is always like discovering new music and guitars, and he said, here's a picture of Bola Sette's guitar from so-and-so period, and here's a video, and so he started sharing some of that stuff with me, so that's been fun. But, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff.
Well, you have a lot of other interesting things happening there. How's your garden?
It's great. It looks great.
They have the bomb shit garden. That's a compliment.
Yeah, it's been a project. We're actually probably going to move, though, pretty soon.
Really?
Shocking news, yeah.
To?
Well, just into town. We found a house in Ukiah.
Really?
Yeah, and we always said we didn't want to. If we ever felt like it was too much looking after this place, because for those of you listening in, we live on a few acres, and we started planting and landscaping years ago, and it just became this kind of huge thing. And it's been great, but it's also a tremendous amount of work to maintain it. Even with helps of gardeners and and people taking down trees and limbs and stuff, because it's gotten a bit overgrown. So it's just I think it's time. I want to do I want to spend more time. I love doing that stuff, but I'm getting older, and I just, it's getting harder, and I want to spend more time doing other things. You can only spend, if you spend 20 hours a week out in the garden, in the landscaping, taking care of a property, that's 20 hours that you can't be reading or writing or, advocating for things that need to be advocated for. So, I think it's just time for a change.
Great. Where in town, may I ask? Just curious.
Well, it's on the west side of town.
Okay.
Kind of up near the park.
Nice.
Kind of behind the park. Not kind of to a little bit behind the park, I guess you could say. That's the park where they have all those cool summer free concerts.
Cool. Yeah. My sister Lisa and Katie moved to Lakeport.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I thought that they bought a house in south end of Ukiah.
They had a house there for 20 plus years.
No, I know, but I thought they sold that. I mean, I thought they bought another place in the south end of Ukiah. But
no, they live in Lakeport. They're ranchers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, Katie has horses, right?
She does. Quite a few of them.
Yeah. Is she still working as a vet, or is she retired?
She's retired. She hangs out at home.
Yeah.
Hangs out with their horses.
Cool.
And Lisa's the rancher.
Well, even before this COVID-19, I hadn't seen either one of them for a while, so maybe that's why.
Yeah. Well, they first, Sheriff Tom, talked, they ran into him one day, and he kind of said, early on, to just stay home. So they started sheltering early.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, and speaking of Sheriff Tom, he's retired.
I know.
And he was still, he emceed our Live from the Redwood Valley Grange concert on Sunday, just this past Sunday.
Is that still, can I see it? Can we find it somewhere, or was that on Zoom?
Yeah. No, it's on YouTube now.
Maybe you could post a link on this feed.
Yeah, let me just see if I can do that. And I just interrupted my camera, though.
We're still here.
Well, I mean, I went away. Look at me flailing around. Okay, let's see if I can do this.
So he was the MC. That's great.
I'm trying to get my camera.
I understand. This is how, for the first like 3 weeks of my show, I was holding it like this, and that's when I brought in the candle.
Yeah.
And then, do you know Dave Love?
Dave Love?
Yeah.
The piano guy?
No, he's a manager, and he was part of a label back in the day. But he sent me one day. He's like, I really like the candle and the pink rubber band thing, but he sent me a tripod. So tonight's the first night that I've used the hand or the tripod for a while, or the candle for a while. So it's bringing me back.
I can't. I'm sorry for all this chaos here.
It's okay.
I can't even get my laptop to respond.
Well, maybe after we can.
Yeah, I'll post it afterwards.
Yeah, you can post it after.
Something about this call. If I'd known you were going to call, I would have put it on the laptop. But anyway, I don't know what's going on at this point.
Well, could I invite you back sometime?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We can do it again.
All right, and I would love to have Allison come on. Allison, come on my show 11:11 with Jenna and talk about what she's doing too. It sounds really important and interesting, as usual.
Well.
Or while she's baking or something.
She's I'm in the studio. She's in the house. So.
No, but she was on. She's been on this feed.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get her on. Maybe she can talk about galettes.
Yes.
How making pastry dough, because she's got that down.
I think that would be fabulous.
All
That'd
right.
be
Well,
great.
Jenna, it's been fun.
Thank you,
And
Alex.
I will post something the concert there, and
And anything
might
else
post-
you want to post? Your website, email, anything.
I'll put it up. Yeah, I'll put a few things on there. Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right.
That's what this is about: community and connection. Alex
It's been
DeGrassi,
fun.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Jenna.
you. Thank you.
It's been fun.
See you soon. Let's play some tunes sometime.
Yeah. Okay, we will.
All right.
Ciao.
Ciao. Thanks, you guys. Alex DeGrassi. Hello, Kim Mead. Hi. Thank you, Jennifer. I will send you my address immediately. Yeah, it's the bomb shit. And Bill and wow, you guys. Joni Ferguson. Hi. I didn't even see you. Mark Moreland. Thanks for your questions. Thank you, Alex and Allison. Thank you. And tomorrow is Wednesday. So Wednesday is Coquelicot, and tomorrow we're going to talk about grounding, and we'll probably have she'll have her gems, something happening. And then Thursday is Corona Roki International Limited, and if you don't have to sing, you can dance, you can tell a story, you could do some comedy. I want you to be on Corona Roki. And then it's Friday. And bye. Thanks, Alex. So think about it. Thursday nights coming soon. And then Friday I had a guest and they had to cancel, so I have Friday night open if somebody wants to be my guest. Be my guest. And then Saturday is Gary Lambert, one more Saturday night. And then we start again. So I am going to say goodnight and thank all of you again. And I hope you have a beautiful night. And it's a calm night. Have a beautiful, calm night. Calm mind. Peaceful words. More peace. Peace in your heart. And a big hug. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those of you that is early still, call someone. Say hi. Learn how to make a galette. Allison, we want you on the show so we can talk galette. See you tomorrow. I love you, Vin and Rosemary. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Julie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Jeff. Thank you for your donations to support 1111 with Jenna through my PayPal, through my Venmo, and my Patreon page. I will post them at the top and at the bottom of this show. Love heart.